हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। तो आज के वीडियो में हम देखने वाले हैं एनसीईआरटी क्लास 10 ज्योग्राफी, जिसमें आज हम देखेंगे चैप्टर 7 जो कि है लाइफलाइंस ऑफ नेशनल इकोनॉमी। तो शुरू करते हैं हमारा आज का चैप्टर। वी यूज डिफरेंट मटेरियल्स एंड सर्विसेज इन आवर डेली लाइफ. Some of these are available in our immediate surroundings, while other requirements are met by bringing things from other places. Goods and services do not move from supply locals to demand locals on their own. The movement of these goods and services from their supply locations to demand locations necessitates the need for transport. Some people are engaged in facilitating these movements. These are known to be traders who make the products come to the consumers by transportation. Thus, the pace of development of a country depends upon the production of goods and services as well as their movement over space. Therefore, efficient means of transport are prerequisites for fast development. Movement of these goods and services can be over three important domains of our earth, that means land, water, and air. Based on these, transport can also be classified into land, water, and air transport. For a long time, trade and transport were restricted to a limited space. With the development in science and technology, the area of influence of trade and transport expanded far and wide. Today, the world has been converted into a large village with the help of efficient and fast-moving transport. Transport has been able to achieve this with the help of equally developed communication system. Therefore, transport, communication, and trade are complementary to each other. Today, India is well linked with the rest of the world despite its vast size, diversity, and linguistic and socio-cultural plurality. Railways, airways, waterways, newspaper, radio, television, cinema, and internet, etc., have been contributing to its socio-economic progress in many ways. The traders from local to international levels have added to the vitality of its economy. It has enriched our life and added substantially to growing amenities and facilities for the comforts of life. In this chapter, you will see how modern means of transport and communication serve as lifelines of our nation and its modern economy. It is thus evident that a dense and efficient network of transport and communication is prerequisite for local, national, and global trade of today. Transport. Roadways. India has second largest road network in the world, aggregating to about 62.16 lakh kilometers 2020-21. In India, roadways have preceded railways. They still have an edge over railways in view of the ease with which they can be built and maintained. The growing importance of road transport vis-a-vis rail transport is rooted in the following reasons. First, construction cost of roads is much lower than that of railway lines. Second, roads can be traversed comparatively more dissected and undulating topography. Third, roads can negotiate higher gradients of slope and as such can traverse mountains such as the Himalayas. Fourth, road transport is economically in transportation of few persons and relatively smaller amounts of goods over short distances. Fifth, it also provides door-to-door service, thus the cost of loading and unloading is much lower. Sixth, road transport is also used as a feeder to other modes of transport such as they provide a link between railway stations, air and seaports. In India, roads are classified in following 6 classes according to their capacity. Look at the map of the national highways and find out about the significant role played by these roads. Golden Quadrilateral Superhighways. The government has launched a major road development project linking Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, and Delhi by 6-lane superhighways. The north-south corridors linking Srinagar, Jammu and Kashmir, and Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu, and east-west corridor connecting Silchar, Assam, and Porbandar, Gujarat, are part of this project. The major objective of these superhighways is to reduce the time and distance between the megacities of India. These highway projects are being implemented by the National Highway Authority of India. National highways. National highways link extreme parts of the country. These are the primary road systems and are laid and maintained by the Central Public Works Department. A number of major national highways run in north-south and east-west directions. The historical Sirsa Suri Marg is called National Highway Number 1 between Delhi and Amritsar. State highways. Roads linking a state capital with different district headquarters are known as state highways. These roads are constructed and maintained by the State Public Works Department in state and union territories. District roads. These roads connect the district headquarters with other places of the district. These roads are maintained by the Jilla Parishad. Other roads. Rural roads which link rural areas and villages with towns are classified under this category. These roads received special impetus under the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana. Under this scheme, special provisions are made so that every village in the country is linked to a major town in the country by an all-season motorable road. Border roads. Apart from this, Border Roads Organization, a Government of India undertaking, constructs and maintains roads in the bordering areas of the country. The organization was established in 1960 for the development of the roads of strategic importance in the northern and northeastern border areas. These roads have improved accessibility in areas of difficult terrain and have helped in the economic development of this area. Do you know the world's longest highway tunnel, Atal Tunnel, 9.202 km, has been built by Border Road Organization. This tunnel connects Manali to Lahore Spiti Valley throughout the year. Earlier, the valley was cut off for about 6 months each year owing to heavy snowfall. The tunnel is built with ultra-modern specifications in the Pir Panjal range of Himalayas at an altitude of 3000 meters from the mean sea level. Roads can also be classified on the basis of the type of material used for their construction, such as metalled and unmetalled roads. Metalled roads may be made of cement, concrete, or even bitumen or coal, therefore, and narrow. However, in recent years, fast development of road network has taken place in different parts of the country. Railways. Railways are the principal mode of transportation for freight and passengers in India. Railways also make it possible for people to conduct multifarious activities like business, sightseeing, pilgrimage, along with transportation of goods over long distances. Apart from an important means of transport, the Indian railways have been a great integrating force for more than 150 years. Railways in India bind the economic life of the country as well as accelerate the development of the industry and agriculture. The Indian Railways is the largest public sector undertaking in the country. The first train steamed up from Bombay to Thane in 1853, covering a distance of 34 km. The Indian Railway is now reorganized into 16 zones. The distribution pattern of the railway network in the country has been largely influenced by physiographic, economic, and administrative factors. The northern plains, with their vast level land, high population density, and rich agricultural resources, provided the most favorable condition for their growth. However, a large number of rivers requiring construction of bridges across their wide beds pose some obstacles. In the hilly terrains of the peninsular region, railway tracks are laid through low hills, caves, or tunnels. The Himalayan mountainous regions too are unfavorable for the construction of railway lines due to high relief, sparse population, and lack of economic opportunities. Likewise, it was difficult to lay railway lines on the sandy plain of western Rajasthan, swamps of Gujarat, forested tracts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Jharkhand. The contiguous stretch of Sahadari could be crossed only through gaps or passes, ghats. In recent times, the development of the Konkan Railway along the west coast has facilitated the movement of passengers and goods in this most important economic region of India. It has also faced a number of problems such as sinking of track in some stretches and landslides. Today, the railways have become more important in our national economy than all other means of transport put together. However, rail transport suffers from certain problems as well. Many passengers travel without tickets. Thefts and damaging of railway property has not yet stopped completely. People stop the trains, pull the chain unnecessarily, and this causes heavy damage to the railway. Think over it how we can help our railway in running as per the scheduled time. Pipelines. Pipeline transport network is a new arrival on the transportation map of India. In the past, these were used to transport water to cities and industries. Now, these are used for transporting crude oil, petroleum products, and natural gas from oil and natural gas fields to refineries, fertilizer factories, and big thermal power plants. Solids can also be transported through a pipeline when converted into slurry. The far inland locations of refineries like Baruni, Mathura, Panipat, and gas waste fertilizer plants could be thought of only because of pipelines. Initial cost of laying pipelines is high, but subsequent running costs are minimal. It rules out transshipment losses or delays. There are three important networks of pipeline transportation in the country. From oil field in Upper Assam to Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh via Guwahati, Varunai and Allahabad. It has branches from Varunai to Haldia via Rajband to Morigram and Guwahati to Siliguri. From Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar in Punjab via Virmangam, Mathura, Delhi and Sonipat. It has branches to connect Koili in near Vadodara, Gujarat, Chaksu and other places. The first 1700-kilometer long Hazira Vijaypur Jagdishpur cross country gas pipeline linked Mumbai High and Basin gas fields with various fertilizer, power and industrial complexes in western and northern India. Overall, India's gas pipeline infrastructure has expanded from 1700 km to 18,500 km of cross country pipelines. Waterways. Since the ancient period, India was one of the seafaring countries. Its seamen sailed far and near, thus carrying and spreading Indian commerce and culture. Waterways are the cheapest means of transport. They are most suitable for carrying heavy and bulky goods. It is a fuel-efficient and environment-friendly mode of transport. India has inland navigation waterways of 14,500 km in length. Out of these, only 5,685 km are navigable by mechanized vessels. The following waterways have been declared as the national waterways by the government. The Ganga River between Allahabad and Haldia, 1620 km, national waterway number 1. The Brahmaputra River between Sadia and Dhubri, 891 km, national waterway number 2. The West Coast Canal in Kerala, Kottapurama, Kollam, Udyogamandal and Champakara canals, 205 km, national waterway number 3. Specified stretches of Godavari and Krishna rivers along with Kakinanda Pudujeri stretch of canals, 1078 km, national waterway number 4. Specified stretches of river Brahmani along the Matai River Delta, channels of Mahanadi and Brahmani rivers and East Coast Canal, 588 km, national waterway number 5. There are some other inland waterways on which substantial transportation takes place. These are Mandavi, Juari and Kombarjua, Sundarbans, Barak and backwaters of Kerala. Apart from this, India's trade with foreign countries is carried from the ports located along the coast. 95% of the country's trade volume, 68% in terms of value, is moved by sea. Major seaports. With a long coastline of 7,516.6 km, India is dotted with 12 major and 200 notified non-majors, minor or intermediate ports. These major ports handle 95% of India's foreign trade. Kandla in Kutch was the first port developed soon after independence to ease the volume of trade on the Mumbai port. In the wake of loss of Karachi port to Pakistan after the partition, Kandla, also known as the Dindayal port, is a tidal port. It caters to the convenient handling of exports and imports of highly productive granary and industrial belt stretching across the UT of Jammu and Kashmir and the states of Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat. Bombay is the biggest port with a spacious, natural and well-sheltered harbour. The Jawaharlal Nehru port was planned with a view to decongest the Bombay port and serve as a hub port for this region. Marmagaon Port, Goa is the premier iron ore exporting port of the country. This port accounts for about 50% of India's iron ore export. New Mangalore Port, located in Karnataka, caters to export of iron ore concentrates from Kudremukh mines. Kochi is the extreme southwestern port, located at the entrance of a lagoon with a natural harbour. Moving along the east coast, you would see the extreme southeastern port of Tuticorin in the Tamil Nadu. This port has a natural harbour and rich hinterland. Thus, it has a flourishing trade handling of a large variety of cargoes too. Even our neighbouring countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives, etc., and the coastal regions of India, Chennai is one of the oldest artificial ports of the country. It is ranked next to Mumbai in terms of the volume of trade and cargo. Visakhapatnam is the deepest landlocked and well-protected port. This port was originally conceived as an outlet for iron ore exports. Paradip port, located in Odisha, specializes in export of iron ore. Kolkata is an inland riverine port. This port serves a very large and rich hinterland of Ganga-Brahmaputra basin. Being a tidal port, it requires constant dredging of Hooghly. Haldia port was developed as a subsidiary port in order to relieve growing pressure on the Kolkata port. Airways. The air travel today is the fastest, most comfortable and prestigious mode of transport. It can cover very difficult terrains like high mountains, dreary deserts, dense forests, and also oceanic stretches with great ease. Think of the northeastern part of the country, marked with presence of big rivers, dissected relief, dense forest, and frequent floods and international frontiers, etc. In the absence of air transport, air travel has made access easier. The air transport was nationalized in 1953. Air India provides domestic and international air services. Pawan Hans Helicopters Limited provides helicopter services to Oil and Natural Gas Corporation in its offshore operations to inaccessible areas and difficult terrains like the northeastern states and the interior parts of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Air travel is not within the reach of the common people. It is only the northeastern state that special provisions are made to extend the services to the common people. Communication. Ever since humans appeared on the earth, they have used different means of communication, but the pace of change has been rapid in modern times. Long distance communication is far easier without physical movement of the communicator or receiver. Personal communication and mass communication, including television, radio, press, films, etc., are the major means of communication in the country. The Indian postal network is the largest in the world. It handles parcels as well as personal written communications. Cards and envelopes are considered first-class mail and are airlifted between stations covering both land and air. The second-class mail includes book packets, registered newspapers, and periodicals. They are carried by surface mail covering land and water transport. To facilitate quick delivery of mails in large towns and cities, 6 mail channels have been introduced recently. They are called Rajdhani Channel, Metro Channel, Green Channel, Business Channel, Bulk Mail Channel, and Periodical Channel. Do you know Digital India is an umbrella program to prepare India for a knowledge-based transformation? The focus of Digital India program is on being Transformative to realize IT, Indian talent plus IT, information technology equals to IT, India tomorrow, and is on making technology central to enabling change. India has one of the largest telecom networks in Asia. Excluding urban places, more than two-thirds of the villages in India have already been covered with subscriber trunk dialing (STD) telephone facility. In order to strengthen the flow of information from the grassroots to the high level, the government has made special provision to extend 24 hours STD facility to every village in the country. There is a uniform rate of STD facilities all over India. It has been made possible by integrating the development in space technology with communication technology. Mass communication provides entertainment and creates awareness among people about various national programs and policies. It includes radio, television, newspapers, magazines, books, and films. All India Radio Akashvani broadcasts a variety of programs in national, regional, and local languages for various categories of people, spread over different parts of the country. Doordarshan, the national television channel of India, is one of the largest terrestrial networks in the world. It broadcasts a variety of programs from entertainment, educational to sports, etc., for people of different age groups. India publishes a large number of newspapers and periodicals annually. They are of different types depending upon their periodicity. Newspapers are published in about 100 languages and dialects. Did you know that the largest number of newspapers published in country are in Hindi, followed by English and Urdu? India is the largest producer of feature films in the world. It produces short films, video feature films, and video short films. The Central Board of Film Certification is the authority to certify both Indian and foreign films. International trade. The exchange of goods among people, states, and countries is referred to as trade. The market is the place where such exchanges take place. Trade between two countries is called international trade. It may take place through sea, air, or land routes. While local trade is carried in cities, towns, and villages, state-level trade is carried between two or more states. Advancement of international trade of a country is an index to its economic prosperity. It is therefore considered the economic barometer for a country. As the resources are space-bound, no country can survive without international trade. Export and import are the components of trade. The balance of trade of a country is the difference between its export and import. When the value of export exceeds the value of imports, it is called a favorable balance of trade. On the contrary, if the value of imports exceeds the value of exports, it is termed as unfavorable balance of trade. India has trade relations with all major trading blocs and all geographical regions of the world. The commodities exported from India to other countries include gems and jewelry, chemicals and related products, agriculture and allied products, etc. The commodities imported to India include petroleum, crude and products, gems and jewelry, chemicals and related products, base metals, electronic items, machinery, agriculture and allied products. India has emerged as a software giant at the international level, and it is earning large foreign exchange through the export of information technology. Tourism as a trade. Tourism in India has grown substantially over the last 3 decades. More than 15 million people are directly engaged in the tourism industry. Tourism also promotes national integration, provides support to local handicrafts and cultural pursuits. It also helps in the development of international understanding about our culture and heritage. Foreign tourists visit India for heritage tourism, ecotourism, adventure tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism, and business tourism. There is a vast potential for development of tourism in all parts of the country. Efforts are being made to promote different types of tourism for this upcoming industry. तो ये है इस चैप्टर का एक्सरसाइज और इसी के साथ हमारा ये चैप्टर कंप्लीट होता है। तो ये इस बुक का लास्ट चैप्टर था। तो हमारा क्लास 10 का ज्योग्राफी बुक कंप्लीट हो चुका है। तो अगर आप चैनल पर नए हैं तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए और नोटिफिकेशन आइकन पर क्लिक कर दीजिए ताकि आपको सारे वीडियोस के अपडेट मिल सके। और साथ ही अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगे तो लाइक कर दीजिए और अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर कीजिए ताकि उन्हें भी हेल्प हो सके। तो हमारा ये सेशन यहीं तक था। थैंक यू, थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग।